Hi, I'm going to get you started and show you how geometry will be set up this year. Uh, this is the class website where you'll find all the course information. You can scroll on the top and see the different sections located on the website. Uh, the course syllabus broken down by unit, the lessons that you can find, and different links for resources as parents, different math tools that we can find, a link to Google Classroom that I'll show you in just a moment, and a pacing guide. So geometry is going to work this year as a flipped mastery course. So what that means, and you can scroll on the web page and click the link to find out what that means. But basically what it means is you're going to watch a video lesson and take notes and you should plan to do that at night before you come to class, so that when you get to class you can ask me any questions you might have on what you learned. After you do that, you will complete practice problems, and I will provide the answers that you can check through. If you have any questions on that at that point, you will ask questions there. It'll be beneficial that you use your class time to do the practice and ask your questions. That's the reason why this class is being flipped, in order to help you learn while I am in the classroom. Instead of expecting you to do the work while you're at home and maybe you forget it, you can do all the work and do your struggles and make your mistakes and ask questions in class. After you do the practice problems that directly apply to the concepts learned, you'll do some application problems, which may be a project, it may be a writing assignment, it might be some word problems, it might be an exploration, but something to help deepen your understanding. Ask questions after that, I'll check it over, and you'll perform a mastery check after about 2 cycles of lessons. So every 2 to 3 lessons you'll do a mastery check, also known as a quiz. And when you do that quiz, you'll need to pass with at least 80%, so that I understand that you are understanding the material. If you pass, continue the cycle. If you did not pass, you can do some more practice, either on Khan Academy or Delta Math, or I'll find some other practice problems that you can do. And if you have any questions with that, you'll ask those before you take a requiz or another mastery check. If you pass that, you move on to the next lesson. After you've completed all the lessons in the unit, you'll do a unit review and answer any or ask any questions you might have on that, and then you'll do a unit test. Okay, that's explained in more detail here. Make sure you bring your headphones in case you finish one of the practice or application early and want to listen to one of the videos in class. Okay, we'll always use our class time, so make sure that if you finish early, you begin the next lesson. Okay, as I mentioned, each unit consists of a couple 2 to 3 lessons, and a mastery check occurs after every 2 to 3 lessons. Okay, a pacing guide, what that is just a summary of what we're doing in class. So if you missed class, you can see what we did. You can click, and it takes you to a website. It'll show you what we are doing in every class. So you can click and find your class. If I'm geometry set 1, accelerated geometry, or regular geometry. Okay, I'll explain the difference between those in just a moment. Okay, but that'll help give you a pacing guide, because this is not every student will be on the same day in the material. For instance, if you didn't pass the mastery check, it might take you another day to complete the material. Well, another student might already have moved on. Okay, I'm providing you a pacing guide so that you can keep track of how you are doing, keeping up the pace. If you know you're going to be gone for an extended period of time, you'll want to plan ahead and complete some lessons ahead of time. If you're struggling with a certain section, that's fine. Take the time you need. And if you find a section that you understand very quickly, you can move through that a little bit quicker. So that is the basics of flipped mastery. How are you graded? Well, there's different categories. Daily work, that's the taking notes. The practice problems, the application. I need to see that you've completed all those. You'll keep your notes in your binder. You can either choose to use the guided notes, or you can decide if you want to keep your own notes. But I need to check to make sure that you are keeping up with that. That'll account for 10% of your grade, because that's just the practice. I need to make sure that you are doing the work. Where it really counts, I need to see if you're really understanding on the quizzes and the tests. Quizzes will count for 40%, tests 50%. And as I mentioned, quizzes you must get at least an 80%. To move on, the unit test you need at least a 70%. And if you keep up with all that, keep up the pace, you will do well in this class. Okay, if you fall behind, a 0 will be entered into the gradebook to show that you're behind schedule. You need to keep up. Okay, if you need help keeping up, I'm available. During my free sets, check your schedule. If you need help, I'm also available before school and after school if I don't have any coaching duties. So how it will work is you've got the units. Let's say you're on the first unit, 1.1. You go there, you've got the video. Okay, you'll watch the video, and you can watch it right here at any time. You're connected to the internet. And then here's a PDF of the notes in case you want to print those off. I have the first unit printed off for you. We have the practice problems that you'll do in class and then the practice answers. And if there's an application, it will also be listed. Okay, you'll go through that process, find the unit you're on, move on to the next unit. Okay, the way you'll also be connected is through Google Classroom. If you click this link, it'll take you to Google Classroom. When you get to Google Classroom, you'll need to be signed on with your Shoreland Google account. You'll click this plus button and click Join Class. You'll enter the class code to join. Now, you'll need to decide whether you're going to be taking geometry or whether you'll be doing accelerated geometry this year. Now, the difference between the two is the pacing. So, as you see on the class website, there's an outline of the units that we'll be studying in geometry. The difference with accelerated geometry is we're getting through one more unit in the first semester, and then in the second semester we're able to finish with an extra unit on the applications of probability, and we're getting a full unit on extending into three-dimensional. So in regular geometry we're just getting through those first 2 units, 10 units, and then a partial introduction into 3 dimensions. So if you are able to handle a little more accelerated pace, you'll be taking the accelerated geometry, and you'll sign up for that one. If you want to try it out and decide maybe you can't keep up with the pace, you can switch back to geometry later on throughout the quarter. Okay, but make a choice now which one you think you can handle. So once you decide, you'll enter the class code for accelerated, listed here, or regular geometry, listed here. Both courses will meet at the same time in the same class. It just determines what pace you are keeping. Now in Google Classroom, we'll have a daily list of assignments that you can find that are linked to the website. Once you get set up, you'll need to do the geometry class setup. Okay, and that's going to be the first day assignment are getting you ready to start. You need to sign up for Khan Academy, where you'll do some practice, Delta Math. You want to bookmark the geometry class website, read through the overview of it. You'll want to download the GeoGebra app, play around with it, and insert a screenshot here. Go to Desmos, graph a parabola, insert a screenshot here, and then you'll practice turning this document in on Google Classroom by marking it as done. So you'll go back to the assignment. This is the teacher view, but on yours it'll say turn in or open. You'll open that up, turn in your assignment there. So we get practice on doing that. And then for your first assignment, you'll need to watch the first lesson and take notes before coming to class, so you can spend class time working on that. In Google Classroom, you can also ask questions about that video. So after you watch that video, you can write down any questions you have, and you can answer classmates' questions as well. Okay, so that's how class will work this year. Be sure, if you have any questions, to write them down in Classroom, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Let's have a great year.